Welcome back to 13C. Today we're going to talk really quickly about the Olight S1R Baton. This is replaces one of the older, smaller batons that they had. Well, at least I assume it replaces it. It's going to replace it at some point if they're still making the other ones. There's some upgraded features on this one that make it a little more advantageous than the old one. Now, right out of the gate here, I want to say I've had this in for about a week, like literally 7 days. So I've cycled this thing through twice, drained it down, charged it up, drained it down, charged it back up, used it every single night I've been out here walking the dog around the farm. I've kept it with me, clipped inside my pocket every single day this week, using it whenever I could as my current EDC light, trying to do the best I could at testing this. That said, it's a 7-day window. I really haven't had time to do much to it other than what I just told you. So what I want to do is get this video out and tell you guys about the flash sale that's happening on Friday, and then give you a little bit of information right here out of the gate. Continue following us on social media. We'll give you some updates on this as in the next few weeks and month or two unfolds. I think I'm going to wind up carrying this quite a bit. It's a lot of different light and a lot of different settings between the moonlight all the way up to the turbo. It really gives you a lot of options. If you're not using it on turbo all the time, that battery's going to last a long time as well. At the same time, I don't know if this would replace a go-to self-defense type flashlight. I'm not advocating obviously only carrying a flashlight for self-defense. What I'm saying is that if you're hopped up on adrenaline, something like that, you're pulling a flashlight out, I want some kind of something that I can jam my thumb into and I'm going to be able to hit it no matter what. Sitting here talking to you, I mean, it's nice and tactile feel on the button here. My thumb has no problem finding it. I can turn it on, I can turn it off, and yes, it is turning on and off here. It's just on the low mode right now, so with all the lights in here, you really can't see it. But just keep that in mind. With any of these that just have a side activation button like this, it could be difficult to hit under stress. Anyway, I want to get that out right out of the gate here. So long story short, that flash sale that's coming up is 20% off one, and I think if you order two, you get two. It's going to be September 28th, so I'll have links down below. The box, I don't really do unboxing, but again, this is Olight's premium packaging here with the fancy like woven cardboard and really, really nice. I mean, this is like something that should be on the book cover or something right here. And I only mention that because I think Olight, the packaging is really nice. There's nothing to complain about on it. It's sealed from the factory. You actually have to rip the tab off the top to get through the seal inside here. But they're spending a couple of bucks on the packaging that maybe they could step down to a more regular type of packaging and then save the consumer another extra buck or two. At the same time, I think they're trying to match quality for quality, so I can't fault them for that. Also in the box, you get a little pouch here. I don't necessarily know that you need the pouch to go with this, but it's there. You've got a lanyard for something like this with the little functional clip on here. I probably wouldn't put a lanyard on it. Especially not just coming in and out of my pocket every day. There's a little thing in here to put an extra battery or two in here if you wanted to. It's just an empty battery case. I guess there's something about if your battery's not in a flashlight, you're supposed to store it in something like this. Allegedly, I'm not sure what's up with that, but maybe a rule or something that I don't know about. There's also this has the new upgraded magnetic charging base. So the old charging base for a lot of these lights, you remember this one, right? You can look at the difference here. It's a little more square. It's not quite as styled and rounded. Not that that matters. I charge with both. So I charge with this one and I charge with this one. They both work. The older one, Olight says works, but one thing I would note on this is if you look, it's meant to fit the kind of other style. So what I would say is that when I charged it with this old style, you had to kind of make sure it was sitting on there right and contacting. Even though it's magnetic, you had to make sure it was sitting on there contact right, because otherwise it wouldn't properly exactly charge right, like I said, even though it's hanging on there. Now with the new charger that it comes with, I had no problem with this, just tagging it on there and it charging without any issue or manipulation. I tried to move it around and bump it around to see if I could get it to not mate up, and that was only something I saw with the old style charger. So if you have the old style charger, it looks like it's not quite working right, you just got to kind of adjust the positioning and make sure it's contacting all the way around. New one, haven't had any issues with. Again, it's only 2 charges, one on each one. Keep that in mind. This one is also one of their upgraded chargers. I'm trying to remember what they called this. It's a faster charger than the old style one, so that's nice to see. I didn't time either one when they were charging to see just how fast they were. I haven't had time to really mess with a lot of that other than just using it and then throwing it down, right, or clipping it into my pocket. So the base is magnetic. I know I had 1 or 2 questions. We posted something on this on social media. So this is the best I can do to show you guys. The base is magnetic. It's not just a charger that's magnetic. Oh, and the other end of these, like most of them, just go into a standard USB. You could charge it off a power bank like I normally do, or you could plug it into a computer or laptop or in your car if you have a USB port. Waterproof rated to IPX8, so 2 meters. Allegedly, it's 2 meters anyway. I'm not going to do any kind of crazy test, but one thing I do for you guys when they say water testing, right? There we go. It's in here. Look at that. Check out that. My wife made some of these for me. If you look, there's actually a 13C logo on there. Can you see that? Maybe. I don't know. There it is. So anyway, I guess we could talk a little bit more about the features of the light while this is in here. Again, this is not a scientific test. I mean, you're talking about, a few inches of water, right? It's not 2 meters like it's rated for, but it is what it is, right? I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here or do any kind of consumer report stuff. I'm just bringing you what I've got. It's been 7 days. Here it is. So the top end was 1,000 lumens. It'll run for 1.5 minutes at 1,000 lumens, and then it slowly steps down because at 1,000 lumens it's gonna get hot. This light does get hot. I ran it all the way up. I kept holding it and touching it while I was out with the dog. Obviously not shining it on the dog's eyes, so that's a hell of a lot of light, but trying to get it to see how long it took to step down. 1.5 minutes, maybe right. It's kind of cool this time of night at night. Sounds about right, and it slowly steps down. It takes probably a good 3 or 4 minutes, maybe. The couple times I tried it for it to get all the way down to what I assume is about 300 lumens, because it just kind of slowly drops down. And that's rated for 1.5 minutes, and then it drops 300 lumens, and then it'll run at 300 lumens for 37 minutes. The high setting is 600 lumens. That's 1.5 minutes again, and then it drops down to 300 lumens for 45 minutes. If you were to run it at the third level or like a medium, it's 60 lumens. You can get about 3.5 hours out of it. And then the low is 12 lumens. You get 20 hours out of it at 12 lumens. And then the runtime for level 5 is going to be the moonlight mode, which is half a lumen, is 8 days. So 8 days of constant runtime. Again, IPX8 waterproof, which would be 2 meters, which they list at 2 meters. IPX8 is whatever the manufacturer says it is. In this case, they say it's 2 meters. Probably need a new chair. I don't know how bad that squeaking is going to come up on my thing there, but my bad. Weight-wise, it's pretty light. With the battery, it's 1.8 ounces, and it's 0.82 inches head and body in diameter. Lengthwise, it's saying on here 2.48. I assume that's 2.48 inches. Looks like it. There you go. That's the majority of the stats on here. It's drop rated at I think it's 1 meter. I'll take a look at these. Take a look at those stats on the box here real quick. Drop rating is let's see here. Yes, 1.5 meters on the impact, and they technically list the throw on this at 145 meters. That would be for the high. So one of the things, when we're rolling some pictures here, one of the things I want to talk to you about is the throw distance, right? So this has a pretty wide hotspot. The hotspot basically takes up almost the total width of the beam. It's pretty wide beam coming out of the end of this. It's kind of hard to see inside, right? But you don't see a whole lot of spread on the outside of what would be considered the beam there, right? So you're going to see that throughout. If you look right here, you'll see the green light. It is fully charged right now, this little green right here. When the battery starts getting low, it'll go to orange. That means it's low, and then red means it's about to die. So it's nice to see there's a little bit of an indicator on there, so you know when your battery's getting low. That's nice to see. When it's charging, it'll go from red. Allegedly, I think it goes to orange. I never sat around and watched it long enough to catch it go to orange, and then when it's charged, it goes to green. Operating this is just from the side button. There's nothing on the base here. So push it, you turn it on. Push it, you turn it off. To go through the power modes when it's on, you push and hold it, and it'll cycle from low, medium to high. And the only way to access the moonlight is to push and hold it, and then the moonlight will come on. You see that half a lumen. Actually puts out a decent amount of light, especially if you're in the total darkness or you're outside at night. As far as just illuminate the area that's like right under your feet, does a decent enough job. If you're in a restaurant, like trying to read a menu in a restaurant, this is going to, half a lumen is probably going to be all you need without having to step up. From any of these modes, just push and hold it, and it will cycle through all of them. Again, it won't go back to moonlight unless you go and push and hold it all the way. Double click gets you to turbo. And if you notice when I double click that there, it's kind of slowly amped up, and it'll do the same thing when I turn it off. And that's kind of help your eyes adjust, right? Because you're supposed to be using this kind of handheld closer in, so that's kind of help your eyes adjust to it getting bright and low. There's a couple other O-lights that have that same function on the high settings or turbo settings, which is nice to see. I mean, how much does it help? How much does it not? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. So a strobe mode on this, so you triple click it, and it'll go into seizure mode. If strobe's important to you, it has it. So there's a timer mode on this. To access the timer mode, you double click and hold it on that second click. One flash means that it's a 9-minute timer. If you double click and hold it on that second click, the second click there turns it on, or will turn it off in 3 minutes. So I actually kind of like the fact it's got a timer mode in there, right? If you're out, you have it on low or something, and you're camping and you wanted to leave it on for a little bit, and then you're reading, say you read a little something for a few minutes before bed, turn on the timer mode for 3 or 9 minutes, turn itself off if you fall asleep. That way, if you're hiking for an extended period of time, your light's not dead when you wake up in the morning. So there's a couple different uses for that. The clip on the side here is removable. You can kind of twist and pull it off if you wanted to. It is also, like the other O-lights, it's a double clip, so you can slide something in from this way or on this way. Again, like these small things, you can always clip it to your hat if you wanted to, which is a nice feature to see. I love the double-sided clips on these. A lot of manufacturers are doing this now. I'd like to see every one of them do it, because it adds a tremendous amount of function to your lights, especially if you have a preferred storage method when you clip it onto something, as far as storing either bezel up or bezel down. It's nice to be able to do either way. We'll have all the links to the flash sale and any other sales direct links down there below, as well as coupon code you can use. 13cgunreviews.com/13C codes will always get you the most recent subscriber discounts and links to some of the various companies that extend their discounts to us. We thank you to all of them. We appreciate that. A little way that we can try and hopefully save you guys a couple of bucks on a few of these things if you're so inclined to buying them anyway. Battery on this, yes, it is replaceable. I wanted to get into that. It's a CR123, but it's a special rechargeable CR123 with some extra kick added into it. It's 3.7 volts, and there's a few other things that are different in here so that it can hit that maximum output off of one of these to hit 1,000 lumens. So you can buy an extra battery if you wanted to off the O-Light website. They sell the batteries separately, but just FYI, yes, you can swap them out if you wanted to. So if you didn't want to recharge it all the time directly in here, you could do that. It recharges from a fast charger USB anyway in like 2 hours, I want to say. So it charges pretty quickly. It's not like you're going to be waiting around all day for one of these to charge. Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it. Facebook.com/gunreview, Instagram. We will be covering this over the next few weeks, next couple of months. The warranty on this is like 5-year warranty, so we'll beat this up a little more. We'll use it. We'll definitely use it more and let you know how it holds up long term for us. But hopefully that is about as good as I can do on something that I've had for about 7 days. Thanks again, everyone. Take care. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.